Hey there, folks. We're back on Railroader today. We've got another chonking update. This is on the experimental branch, which is pretty much free, barring you have the game, of course, to use. And the devs have noted that they're nearing the end of the experimental build, and this should be full on vanilla install or vanilla build, or however you'd like to say it. But this came out last night, the last day of January 2025, and is now available. And it's got a ton of stuff. And for those of you that always may show up and be like, "Oh, is this mods?" I get it, man. I get it. There's a ton of mods out there. It's can be some muddy waters to wade through. So many different modders, so many different programs to use. I get it. But this is all vanilla. Every bit of it. Vanilla, plain ass ice cream in this video today. But there's a lot to look at. So the biggest things that I'm going to focus on are primarily the added P48 or the Southern Ps-4 class, revised P43, Model T USRA Heavy Pacific type or standard that would have been the USRA, a C40 Mastodon. Yeah, that's right. An SD7. So we have a six axle, or what I like to call a sixel, and updated GP9. Union Tank Car Company Tank Car. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It says Union Tank Car Company Tank Car. I don't know if that's on purpose or just for funsies, but it's funny at any rate. And we've got some more buildings for some more industries, and they look pretty damn spicy. So we're certainly going to be taking a look at that. There's a ton of other stuff that was added, bug fixed, other enhancements. They also fixed the overall enhancement of the gameplay itself. So they did something with, we'll say, the level of detail or the LOD, depending on how close or far you are, the player or the camera view from certain locomotives and rail cars and things like that. It will not display certain markings on the car, so it's less for the game to load until you get closer to it. I've been playing around with it this morning a tiny bit. I haven't really noticed anything that kind of stands out that looks funny or anything like that, and the performance is, to be honest, I've had decent performance since starting out. But anyway, enough blabbing. Let's get in there and have a look. All right, y'all. First up, the SD7, the six axle built by EMD 1951 to 1953, featuring the EMD 567B 16 cylinder prime mover rated at 1500 horsepower. These were essentially the first units that EMD built that were SD, or known as special duty. That's what the SD stands for, the special duty line. Essentially a lengthened GP7 unit with extra axles, of course, for heavy, low-speed freight, better starting out, tractive effort, things like that. The SD7s were initially conceived to run long hood forward, which is a bit of an interesting note, denoted by the F on the long hood. On the early builds, of course, those were later changed to federal rail standards to run short hood, a little bit safer being able to see out the short hood, obviously. Now, the units rode on EMD's FlexiCoil C trucks with a total unit weight of around about 309,000 pounds, featuring a roots-blown supercharger, putting down 77,000 pounds of tractive effort. Railroads that initially used these, or the original owners, were the likes of the Baltimore and Ohio, Bessemer and Lake Erie, Chicago Northwestern, Chicago, Burlington, Quincy, Central of Georgia, Pennsy, and of course SP and UP. The next locomotive in the lineup that we get today as part of this update is the old Mastodon, the 480, of course, known as the 12-wheeler. Used primarily in Central and North America by the likes of Class 1s such as the Illinois Central, Mopac, and of course Norfolk and Western, which I believe this one is based on. Meant to be a more powerful replacement to the 10-wheeler and built beginning 1890 through about 1920. They weren't thoroughly popular, especially by the end of their lifespan, and largely left behind by the 1930s. As I said, I think this unit is based on the Norfolk and Western number 475 from Strasbourg. naturally. The N&W labeled them Class M. They were numbered 375 through 499, and they called them Mollies. Built at Baldwin, the initial orders, featuring 56-inch drivers. They weighed around 375,000, 374, 373, depending. Total weight, 200 psi boiler pressure, and put down about 40,000 pounds of tractive effort. Last but certainly not least in our little kind of preview or intro lineup here, the Ps-4 or Pacific Type 462, built for the AGS, Southern, the Cincinnati. For pulling mainline passenger, they also pulled mail, and very slight, mainly mail freight between DC, Atlanta, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, Chattanooga, Meridian, Birmingham. By their respected lines, of course. They didn't all just kind of jump around from town to town. It was whatever railroad was running them and where they ran to and from. Now, the initial orders dated to 1923 via Alco, originally painted black, as you see here, and then, of course, later painted to the well-known and very illustrious Virginian green and gold livery. And these were all largely retired by the late 1940s, almost 1950. The units featured 73-inch drivers, 200 psi boiler pressure, with a max speed of anywhere between 60 and 80 dependent. The tractive effort was at about 47,000 pounds, roughly. We are now within the game, and it's a foggy morning here on the Blue Ridge along the river in Dillsboro. And Dillsboro is fleshing out nicely. So I will pinpoint down here on the map, of course, where we're at, just outside of Silva, just west of Silva. Pretty good sized town to this day, anyway, and kind of was back in the day as well. Was well known for a hotel where a lot of people would come and vacation along the river here, especially in the warmer months out of the year, as a lot of people did with, the Blue Ridge Mountains as a whole, coming from, Alabama, South Carolina, Florida, places like that. But anyway, the first thing we're going to look at here is this very nice, lovely model. This is the Blue Ridge Locust Pin Co. And this was a legit place. This was an IRL kind of deal. This was a manufacturer of wooden pins that basically secured glass insulators to utility lines back in the day, and they did a lot of it. So a lot of trains would come in featuring wood, and then of course they would turn out the wood itself. But some more very nice looking models. It seems about every couple weeks we get a more fleshed out map, which is very awesome to see. You've got your loading dock over here with your bay doors for going in and out. Don't believe you can open or go through any of them, but it's a pretty pretty nice in-depth custom building. You can see the smokestacks that are supported by the wire, which are actually supported by the posts going into the ground. It's a pretty in-depth looking model. It's kind of two buildings into one. You've got some ventilation across the top as well. I'm really liking these models. It just makes Railroader look a million times better overall. And this area is getting fleshed out very nicely. We'll see if we can fly in here, take a little sneak peek. No sneaky stuff in there. But got my trusty old switcher here sitting there waiting. Got to pull these out, send one of them to Andrews, the other two going back down to Silva. And then down here, these are new as well. So here's our fuel racks, still of course at Dillsboro. And then down here is the freight house where I have a flat car currently set. It's got to go out as well. I believe this building might have been reused, but it looks like it was lengthened. I feel like I've seen this one before. This might be the same building down in Silva. At any rate, it still looks awesome. It looks good. I like the era appropriate kind of colors and wood and the way the roof would look and things like that. But it looks very nice. Got stairs on the back. It's just some good looking stuff. And then, of course, these fuel racks down here look very nice. You can see the actual pipes or the hoses on the ground as well with the handles. And then, of course, truck to train, train to truck. They did that back in the day as well as today and in the modern age. So you'll see the pipes back here as well and some handles. And, of course, a lot of this was gravity fed. Nowadays, it's not really the case. A lot of it's pressure. But you got some more storage tanks here as well. But Dillsborough is getting fleshed out very nicely. Looks sick coming through here. Used to just be the depot over here, you know, and then it was they added this little office here, and then now we finally got 3 new industries. Like you know, I don't know, with the one that they added down in Andrews, the grain elevator. I don't know whether I like that more or this right here, but this looks pretty sick with the pipes, you know, being wired down, held down. That it's a good looking building. Got that old metal roof. Anyway, so this is some of the new stuff that was added. There might have been some more stuff added. I don't know. I haven't looked at the entire map. Every time I jump in here, I'm just reminded how darn busy I am on this railroad as a whole. So I've got a lot of stuff to go over and look at personally in my gameplay save still. But this is Dillsborough. Let's go down to Whittier where some stuff was added as well. All right, of course, we're now down in Whittier. This house is not new. This was added recently, but it still looks very nice. Like to see it fleshes out the area very well. And over here, a lot of you keen eyes, a lot of you OGs of Railroader, you'll note that this was probably one of your first industries, one of your first customers, one of your first jobs. This fuel rack over here, this tank company, just on the east side, well, west side of Whittier anyway. You know, this would have been one of the, I know it was, for me, one of the first places that I was turning out with freight traffic was right here. And it was just empty. It was just this little spur here. I believe the road was there. This road back here was there as well. But now we've got some stuff. We got some more of these tanks with the nice looking hoses and wheels on them. We got these tall tanks here. And then, of course, we have this little freight house here. I don't know if this one is inherently new as well. It might kind of be a reused model, but the colors are different. Again, they do look nice. Got a little stone chimney going on. This is just some good looking stuff, and it's, you know, it's fleshing out Whittier pretty well as well. So we got a lot of stuff going on now here with that house. We got this freight office back here, and of course the fuel company, thankfully. So that is pretty much it from what I've noticed anyway. Of course, if you notice anything else, please let me and others know in the comments down below if you found something else that they've kind of maybe snuck by or something like that. But that's it for the industries and the assets they have recently added. Now let's go take a look at them locomotives. Starting, of course, with the EMD Special Duty -7, the chonker, the sixel, the 6-axle. Essentially the same as the GP7. It's what they were built off of. Just able to, you know, get more grunt, get started, pull heavier trains, you know, up and down grades a bit better, probably a little bit better braking power, things of that nature. Essentially why the thing was built to begin with. Let's hop into the Shift T doodad and we'll open up your EMD SD7, which you have here. You got your little picture there. Tractive effort 90,800 pounds, factor of adhesion 4, curve radius small, so you can still use this bad mamma jamma in some of the smaller parts of the map itself. Capacity 2,400 gallons of diesel fuel, $54,000, so it's quite a bit, but I'd say it's pretty much worth it. But it looks good. The model certainly looks good. I like the flexi-coil trucks. Those look very nice. I wish it was a bit more weathered so you could see a bit better instead of it having the kind of slick, oily, black color to it where it's just kind of hard to notice some stuff. Let me turn my lantern on here. You can kind of see some of the stuff better. Got your brake pins. See the axles, the brakes themselves look nice. They look like they're fully modeled. We got the hangers on the outside of the axles themselves, the bearings. Good looking unit. Got your air tanks right there, your split fuel tanks, which is a cool little feature of these. Look at the back here, not a whole lot going on. We do have, of course, the tie down, which is modeled there, which is different than the GP7, of course. Look at the front, still got that overslung bell right over the headlights, your number boards as well, little ladders going up the front. You can see where marker lights used to be and are no longer. Essentially the same as the Jeep on the right. The front plate does look a little different, as you'll note. I'm not seeing any air hoses for MU working, but then again, I don't think the Jeep had them either. We do have the air hoses, of course. I can't believe I've never noticed that, but the ladder is different. As you can see, there's two on both sides of the SD7. I think the bell and the lights are essentially going to come out to be about the same. You got the extended foot plate there for crossing between units. You get up high. I just put down a GP9 just for comparison. As you can see, this thing is much chonker. It's got a different layout as far as the cooling system and the fans. You've got two up front and two in the back on the Jeep, and you got the four kind of slammed all together here on the back of the SD. Looks like the diamond plate on the porch is about the same as well. Got some little bits of piping up here, but overall the model looks pretty good. I'm happy with this, especially within Railroader. You know, looks pretty spicy. It's like a Jeep, but bigger. Let's hop in this thing and have a look. Go upside. Well, let's go over here. Let's see if we can open the panels back here. I think you could on the Jeep, yeah? Where was it at? I swear you could on the Jeep. Maybe I'm not clicking the right spot. Just kind of clicking all over. I swear you could on the Jeep. There's the handbrake. Go ahead and release that. There we go. It's got the little ratchet system, which is pretty nice. Yeah, maybe they changed that. Call me crazy. I swear you could open these panels at one point. Was it on the other side? Maybe you got to hit like the handle in a certain spot or something like that. I don't know. Okay, let's go inside this thing. Take a look at the cab. Get that light off. It looks pretty good in here. So it looks like, so they updated the GP9 as well, which I don't know if I neglected to mention that or not, but it looks like they updated the interior of the cab as well. Gave it a little bit more shading, a little bit more texturing. The floor looks nice. Got your brake stand here. What do we got there? Cutout valve cut in. Very nice. Cut out. So that's your brakes, obviously, that you can mess around with there. Pretty cool. Don't know if there's anything on the back wall you can mess with. Don't think any of these panels are operable. Of course, the windows are. They should be. And you got your doors. That one's obviously already open over here. You go on the nose. No. There wouldn't be really anything in there but some equipment, stuff like that, radio stuff. Open that. Go pop a squat over here. These chairs might be new as well. They kind of have that nasty like vinyl look where if you're hot, your ass is going to start sweating in about 2 seconds. Yeah, those might be new as well. We're definitely going to go pop in the GP9 here in just a second. Nice seating position. It does seem bigger. I don't know why, but it seems bigger in this thing. I mean, the cab is about the same as the GP9, GP7, if I'm not mistaken. But it looks roughly the same. Got your reverser here. That's your power handle. I don't think you can mess with that. No. There's your independent. Got the copper piping. Yeah, the brake stand looks pretty good though. Especially the train brake stand. That looks nice. We might have some new gauges as well. Let's say Westinghouse. I'm pretty sure those were not branded on the Jeep, so that's pretty damn spicy. Got our amp gauge up there. It's your headlight control. Go back outside and display the headlights. Got our fronts and backs, of course. The horn is going to be the same. You can see it's the same 3 chime that's going to be on the Jeep over there, which of course with modding you can change that if you like. The bell, I think I have the bell changed from a mod. I lied. I said there's going to be absolutely no mods in this. I lied. That is there we go. It should have the default bell now. Yeah, so it's pretty much the same. We got a small cut on here with the new tank cars, of course. 984 ton, almost 1,000 feet. We'll pull them in just a second. Let's see. Let's go hop over in that Jeep real quick, though. See if I missed anything. I miss a lot of things, so I would not put that past myself. Interior of this is that old school EMD bright green. So it is different than the SD, which is the more modern kind of silver look. Brake stand and control stand in here is much, much different. They did change some things. It's definitely been updated. It has definitely been updated. It looks a lot nicer. We have the, yep, Westinghouse gauges in there. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they did that with this update. Maybe it was the last one. I'm not sure, but it has been updated. This thing looks way spicier on the inside. I don't know if they did anything exterior wise. I mean, it kind of pretty much looks the same to me. I can't really tell. Maybe it's just, maybe the model's just cleaned up a bit more. I'm not totally sure, guys. The interiors look pretty dang spicy though. Go back here and look at our tankers. Here's the new tankers, of course. Let me hit that Shift T key again. Let's see. Where's it at? Tankers. Did I pass it? There we go. Union Tank Car Company. Tank car. 66,000 pound capacity, 10,000 gallons. So it's, yeah, it's definitely the largest one in the game now. The one below that is USRA 8,000. Price $1,250 each. Again, they look good. This is one of the more modern, you know, changing of the decades kind of tank car. You know, bigger than the 8,000 gallon, of course, and they look pretty good. The model looks pretty nice. You can see some riveting on there. You can see that kind of overlapping seam from the ends of the tank itself. Axles look okay. They look about the same as pretty much everything else that's in the game as far as freight wise. Texturing looks okay on it as well. I would like to see just a little bit of like base weathering overall instead of everything being like that ultra kind of slick look, if you know what I mean. See if we can get up here and vent this bad boy. Yeah, I don't think you can click on anything and mess with it really. Alright, let's get in this SD up here and do some chooching. Flexi coil trucks, man. SDs. Woo! I love me some SDs. Alright, let's get in this thing. SP loves the SD. Alright, let's throw this sucker in reverse. Our independent brake. Charge up the train brake. Simulation and physics isn't, you know, the main thing of the game, so we won't pay attention to that. Hit that bell. Actually turn the volume down a skosh. There we go. Jesus. Give her a notch. Come off that Indy. Bail her off. We'll hang out the winder. Now we'll give it another notch. Yeah, it definitely seems to put the power down a little bit better. That is for sure. With the old Jeep over there, this would have taken another probably half second or so to get going, and I'd probably be in notch 4 right now. It's got more grunt. I mean, that's the purpose of this thing. That was the purpose with the special duties anyway. Guess it sounds weird to say special duty, but you know. but she be rolling. Trying to think where I could use these things on my road. I may relegate to mainline freight, and you know, I've been wanting to kind of do a refresher on my gameplay, my save here. And as evil as this sounds, I might be going straight diesel. Might be. Might be. We'll have to see. Maybe keep some old steamers on some of the, you know, the branches, if you will. And just stick with the old diesels mainline. This thing's a chonker, though. Looks good. Looks very good. Cool to see the SD7. Very cool. I was pleasantly surprised when I saw the news of this thing last night. I was like, what the hell? Is that an SD7? Yes, it was indeed an SD7. Hit that independent brake, little train brake. Yes, this thing's pulling a thousand ton train with ease, or pushing it anyway. So very nice, the SD7. Hell yes, I thought I saw something down here. Are these tanks new? These two tanks right here. You guys, you keen-eyed, you eagle-eyed, hawk-eyed folks out there, are these new? Are these like placeholders? I don't recall seeing those things, if I'm honest. They might have always been there. They might have always been there. Just being an idiot. I would like to see some actual wood over here. I can't wait till we see some log piles over here instead of these blocky things. But hey, we're getting some stuff. Good things comes to those who wait, as they say. Anyway, I have no patience, so I get no good things. We still got the damn good-looking silo granary down here in the elevator. This looks epic. All right, so the SD7, let's go and take a look at the old Mastodon. All right, we are in the Mastodon, the 12er. You definitely want to watch where you're putting your elbows and your knees in this thing with that big-ass spoiler right there. Yeah, you got to watch it. You got to go straight out the back. It looks nice in here, though. Looks about on par with everything else in the game. The gauges look pretty nice, and the copper stuff. The brake stand. Got your certain valves. You should be able to open your doors like all the other stuff in here. You can, of course, open your windows. There's your light controls up top there. You got you a hatch as well. I think you can... No. I was going to say, I think you can mess with these up here. Yeah, there you go. So you can open those sliders up there as well. Let's get up and go over on the other side here. Open this door here. There we go. Open that door. You should be able to open this. Nope. Didn't want to do... Nope. Stop it. Stop it. I don't want to ring the bell. There we go. Yeah, you got to watch where you're going with this thing. The exterior. This is a damn good looking model too. This thing is very unique with the tapered, you know, boiler up here, the smoke box anyway. The tube. We will call it the tube. The thing where the stuff happens for steam engines. The place where the steam is made and power. Yeah, you get the idea. The thing looks good though. It's got the gigantic tender as well. Let's get back in that thing. Open this window. See if there's any kind of thing. Nope. Stop with the bell. Stop with the bell. Nope. Stop it. There we go. Trying to open that hatch up there. Good Lord. Hatch, not bell. There we go. And I think you can open this window back here as well. Come on now. Come on now. Nope. All right. You literally click anywhere up top and it hits the bell. Got your little toolbox back there, which is pretty cool. Can't jump up in there. No big deal. But yeah, this thing looks good, boy. 480 12er, 12-wheeler. It's a chonker. Got a pretty good sized cab, although it's a bit misleading because there ain't a whole lot of room in these things. It's a dynamo. It's got these big chonking stacks that go down into the cylinders. That's like it's one of the things that I've always kind of noticed about this thing anyway. Which look very nice. Very nice. Like we got the appropriate lighting number boards and your class lights up top that you can run to. That kind of funky top hat looking stack. Try and go up top here and take a look. Yeah, very well detailed. I mean, we just God, it's part of the game, guys. Like this isn't an add-on. This isn't. They're not nickeling and diming you to death. Like this is free. This is free. You got the game. This is this is yours. All right, let's run this thing back a little bit. Test her out. Revoice. The whistle and bell is not default. BT dubs. Just watch her do her thing in motion here. Got these interesting step plates, which are part of this thing as well, up here. It's a unique engine, the way these things look. Got the slatted kind of plate down below as well. That was one of the kind of keynote features of this deal. It's a damn good looking engine right there, though. Motion looks good. Animation of the drivers and the rods. Very, very nice. Let's take a look at this thing in the menu. I think it's denoted as a C40. C40. Am I blind? Here it is. C40 Mastodon. 40,000 pound tractive effort. Medium curve radius. Weight empty 206,000 pound. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Does hold quite a bit of cold water, so that's nice. $19,000. That ain't too shabby. And this is a chonker right here, man. You can definitely pull some stuff with the old Mastodon. That is for sure. So nice to have. All right, last but not least, let's go take a look at the old glorious Southern Ps-4. And no, I'm not talking about a PlayStation. By golly, we are inside of the Ps-4, and this thing might take the cake on probably one of the best cab interiors in the game, from anything vanilla. Hell, even modded stuff. It looks very nice in here. The texturing work seems like it's been stepped up some. Everything's still kind of got that slick, snot, shiny look to everything, which I'm not a massive fan of. But dang, it looks good in here, man. It looks good in here. Valves and hand wheels look good. This brass or copper. Got your speedo up there. Pressure gauge. We do have Westinghouse. Traction brake company. Wilmerding. Yeah, it looks good in here. You can open all the windows. Should be able to open them front boys as well. Got your hatch up top. Headlight control up here. Yeah, there's a lot of damn space in this thing too. Of course, the auto feeder with the coal going down into the tender there instead of having to shovel. Man, it looks good in here. This thing is a chonker too. Let me out. Let me out. Here we go. Here we go. Take a look at the lights. Those work as well. Got your class lights. Oh my God. Seeing this thing in green and gold? Holy hell. Yes, please. Gigantic tender as well. Good Lord above. Thing's got to be as big as the engine itself. This, okay. Yeah, this might be one of my favorite steam engine models in the game right now, inside and out. It looks very well modeled, intricately detailed. Let's see this thing run a little bit, shall we? By golly. Okay, even the chains, man. I always look at chains because I feel like that's kind of an overlooked thing. 3D chains. It's very, very nominal or minimal, but still, you can kind of look at a chain and tell overall of a model, in any train sim of how the overall kind of model is going to be. All right, let's put the reverser forward a little bit. Not the default horn and whistle either, or horn and whistle. Wow, on a roll today. Bell and whistle. Just watch this thing kind of do its thing. Big fan of when they changed how the axles and the driver wheels and just the axles overall look. They just made them a bit more natural. They're not that ultra shiny, kind of mirrored finish anymore. Damn, look at this thing. Yeah, so, you know, my railroad, if I do go straight up diesel on the Nant and Tuck, this thing right here will probably be running my passenger stuff. I'm going to get rid of the F7s, even though I like the F7s, which are a mod, by the way, for those that may be unaware. I might have to get rid of those and let this bad girl right here run the passenger stuff, because, by golly, let's go down here and just watch this thing go by the station. Get some speed. These things were built for speed, right? Up to 80 mile an hour, probably a lot faster. Not everything had a speedometer, and if they did, they didn't really pay attention to it. You know, if you was in a dark zone. Dang, boy, that thing looked good. It's got the red-backed number plate on there, which is, you know, you see that thing and you kind of know right off the bat what you're looking at. Cylinders look really nice as well. I feel like the modeling, or at least the texture or the coloring overall on the cylinder caps have been updated, because they just look a lot smoother, a lot better. It's a damn fine looking engine though. Nope, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Hang out, run this bad girl down into Silva a little bit. Wide open. Of course, I'm pulling freight just as a little test-a-rooney. But these are primarily passenger engines, of course. Almost 40 mile an hour. I do not know if I have any trains up here. Let's hope I do not. Silva just ahead. Yeah, this thing should have no issue at all keeping to a passenger timetable. With, hell, you could probably pull 8 cars behind you and do just fine. I don't know about going over Topton, Red Marble, the grade. But, this thing gets going, man. This thing gets going. The big old drivers. Thing looks good. Pleasantly surprised with this. I'm sure somebody will have the Virginian green and gold out in no time, if they don't already. Knowing the railroader community, the modding community for railroader has just absolutely exploded, unlike I've seen, you know, with anything else, any other simulator. I mean, it's insane. A lot of cool stuff. Look at the tender, man. The foot plate up here going over the top. Plump, plump, plump. Damn, that's a good looking engine. But that's just about it, guys. That's everything I just kind of wanted to quickly go over with the Railroader update, getting your new locomotives and your new buildings and things like that. I will, of course, link down below where you can go and find the full change log if you want to get all down into the finer details and the nitty gritty. But as of right now, that is it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully see you next time. Take care.